Imagine cruising down a sunlit highway in a car that makes your heart race. A perfect blend of design, performance, and pure driving joy. Now picture a ride that leaves you scratching your head, wondering how something so hyped up could miss the mark so spectacularly. The 2010s were a decade of daring innovation and bold experiments in the auto industry. In this video essay, we're going to explore 5 standout models that redefined what it means to drive in style, and 5 that, despite good intentions, simply didn't hit the bullseye. So, which ones really delivered, and which ones fizzled out? Let's take a ride through the best and worst cars of the 2010s. Chevrolet Corvette C7/C8, the American icon reborn. Let's kick things off with the Chevrolet Corvette. If you're a car enthusiast, you know that the Corvette is synonymous with American muscle. The C7 generation brought modern design cues and cutting-edge technology, while the transition into the C8 mid-engine layout marked a revolutionary shift in the Corvette's DNA. This isn't just a car, it's a statement. It transformed the Corvette from a nostalgic relic into a modern-day powerhouse that could stand toe-to-toe with European supercars. The Corvette's evolution was all about balancing raw performance with everyday usability. Its roar on the open road became an anthem for American innovation. And the impact on the market? Simply put, it redefined what sports cars could be in the modern era. It's not just about speed, it's about delivering an emotional experience that leaves you grinning from ear to ear every time you hit the accelerator. Porsche 911, timeless engineering and heart-pounding performance. Next up is the Porsche 911. Here's the thing, the 911 isn't just a car. It's a legend that has stood the test of time. With its unmistakable silhouette and precise engineering, the Porsche 911 continued to evolve through the decade while holding on to its classic charm. Every curve and every detail is a nod to a legacy that has defined performance for generations. What makes the 911 so special? It's the perfect marriage of cutting-edge technology and an almost spiritual connection to driving. Whether you're on a tight, winding road or cruising along a long stretch of highway, the 911 provides an experience that feels both exhilarating and intimately connected to the machine beneath you. It's a reminder that sometimes, true excellence is timeless. Audi A4, where technology meets comfort. Moving on, let's talk about the Audi A4. Often seen as the benchmark for what a premium sedan should be, the A4 in the 2010s was more than just a pretty face. It combined sleek design, advanced tech, and a level of comfort that made it a hit among both professionals and car lovers alike. Driving an Audi A4 felt like being wrapped in innovation, with every button and feature designed to make your journey smoother and more connected. The secret sauce behind the A4's appeal? Its blend of cutting-edge infotainment, safety features, and performance that doesn't compromise on efficiency. It's the kind of car that makes you feel like you've got a little piece of the future right at your fingertips. And for those who value both aesthetics and substance, the A4 is a perfect example of how modern engineering can enhance everyday driving. BMW 3 Series/M3, a performance icon with a legacy. When it comes to balancing luxury with performance, the BMW 3 Series, and its sportier variant, the M3, is hard to beat. The 3 Series in the 2010s was celebrated for its dynamic handling, refined interiors, and a driving experience that was as engaging as it was comfortable. And then there's the M3, which took that experience to a whole new level by adding a dose of raw, unfiltered power. What made these models stand out? It's their relentless pursuit of the perfect driving balance. Whether you're navigating city streets or hitting the track, the 3 Series and M3 deliver performance that feels both precise and passionate. Their ability to marry everyday luxury with track-ready performance has cemented their status as true icons of automotive design. Honda Accord, the reliable workhorse with a touch of class. Rounding out our list of the best cars is the Honda Accord. Often overlooked by those chasing the thrill of high-performance vehicles, The Accord quietly won hearts with its reputation for reliability, efficiency, and value. But don't be fooled by its sensible nature. The Accord managed to weave a sense of sophistication into its practical DNA. In a decade filled with flashy supercars and bold design statements, the Accord reminded us that reliability can be a virtue. Its smooth ride, excellent fuel economy, and robust resale value made it a favorite among families and commuters alike. It's the car that shows you don't always need to break the bank or push the envelope to have a fulfilling driving experience. In a way, the Accord's unassuming charm became its greatest strength. Transitioning gears. When promises fall flat. While the best cars of the 2010s gave us plenty to cheer about, the decade was also marked by some misfires. These vehicles promised much but left drivers with more questions than excitement. They serve as reminders that not every bold experiment leads to success. The worst cars of the 2010s. When high hopes met hard reality. Nissan Versa. 2nd Gen, 2012. The misstep in redesign. Ever sat in a car and felt that something just didn't add up? The 2nd generation Nissan Versa is one such example. In 2012, Nissan aimed to elevate the Versa with a redesign that hinted at premium aspirations, but instead, it ended up feeling awkward and out of place. The car tried too hard to be something it wasn't, leaving a gap between its stylish exterior and the underwhelming experience behind the wheel. The Versa's redesign was like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. It struggled to justify its positioning in a competitive market, and many enthusiasts and everyday drivers alike were left wondering what could have been if the vision had been executed just a bit more thoughtfully. Dodge Dart, 2013. A revival that didn't rev up. Then came the Dodge Dart in 2013. A model that had the potential to revive a beloved name but ended up falling short of expectations. Dodge was known for its performance chops and muscle car heritage, so when they introduced the Dart, there was a collective sense of anticipation. Unfortunately, the Dart's performance was as underwhelming as a damp spark plug on a cold morning. Its inability to connect with drivers was a hard pill to swallow. Despite an aggressive look and marketing efforts aimed at reigniting nostalgia, the Dart couldn't bridge the gap between promise and delivery. The result? A car that seemed to lose its identity somewhere along the assembly line. Toyota Mirai, 2014. The hydrogen hiccup Toyota tried to be ahead of its time with the Mirai in 2014. As one of the first hydrogen fuel cell vehicles to hit the market, the Mirai was meant to be a symbol of a cleaner, greener future. But here's the catch. Innovative technology sometimes comes with a steep learning curve. The Mirai's reliance on hydrogen technology was both its strength and its Achilles heel. While it represented a bold step forward, its controversial styling and the challenges of building a hydrogen infrastructure meant that it struggled to gain widespread acceptance. It was a car that aimed high, but, for many, didn't quite make it off the starting line. Buick Cascada, 2016. Convertible chic without the thrill. In 2016, Buick introduced the Cascada as its answer to the convertible craze. With its sleek lines and promise of open-air driving, the Cascada initially sounded like a breath of fresh air. But as many drivers soon discovered, there was a disconnect between its convertible charm and its overall performance. The Cascada looked every bit the part, yet it simply didn't have the spark to back up its style. It was like a beautifully wrapped gift that turned out to be a bit of a dud on the inside. For those seeking both excitement and efficiency in a convertible, the Cascada proved to be more of a missed opportunity than a milestone. Ford EcoSport, 2012. When crossover ambitions fall short. Last but not least, the Ford EcoSport from 2012 stands as a testament to the challenges of finding the right balance in the crowded crossover market. Ford tried to create a compact SUV that offered the best of both worlds, the ruggedness of an SUV and the agility of a smaller car. However, the EcoSport ended up feeling like it was caught in a design limbo. Its styling, while bold, didn't quite hit the mark when it came to functionality. The EcoSport seemed to promise practicality but delivered an experience that was neither as engaging as a traditional SUV nor as nimble as a compact car. It's a reminder that in the automotive world, sometimes trying to be everything for everyone can result in being nothing memorable at all. Final thoughts. Celebrating the journey. The automotive landscape of the 2010s was a roller coaster of ambition, innovation, and hard-won lessons. The best vehicles of the decade weren't just machines built for speed or style. They were embodiments of a vision that married performance with passion. Meanwhile, the less successful models showed that in a rapidly evolving industry, even well-meaning ideas need the right mix of execution and timing. In the end, whether you're a die-hard gearhead or someone who simply enjoys a smooth, reliable ride, there's something to appreciate in every car that hit the streets during this memorable decade. They're more than just modes of transportation. They're reflections of the spirit of an era, one that was unafraid to take risks, celebrate successes, and learn from its missteps. So, next time you see a gleaming Corvette or even pass by a less inspiring model like the EcoSport, remember the stories behind the designs. Each curve, each engine rev, and each innovation tells a story of aspiration, challenge, and, ultimately, the relentless pursuit of automotive excellence. As we close this chapter on the 2010s, we're left with a feeling of nostalgia mixed with anticipation. The lessons learned and the benchmarks set will undoubtedly influence the future of car design and performance. And while debates will continue over which models truly defined the decade, one thing is clear: the journey was as thrilling as it was unpredictable. Thank you for joining me on this trip down memory lane. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your opinions, your favorite moments, and those unforgettable rides that made you fall in love with driving all over again. After all, every car has a story, and every story has its own place in the grand narrative of our shared automotive history. There you have it. A candid look at the best and worst cars of the 2010s, a decade marked by both triumphant highs and memorable lows. Whether you're tuning in as a longtime enthusiast or a newcomer to the world of cars, I hope this journey has given you a few reasons to celebrate innovation, learn from mistakes, and keep on dreaming about what comes next on the open road. Enjoy the ride, and until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your heart in the engine.